Welcome to another edition of the SSC TV3 News. We are more than news. We also televise programs, events, and archives that are the lifeblood of our community. Today is Friday, June 29th, and I'm Jim Lakey, your host, and these are the features that will be on our show today. The first one is the idea that no cyclone shall destroy, supplemented by Jeffrey Lyon. And the second one is the situation for fireworks over the holiday and other days in St. John that are coming up this next week. We televise this program live at 11:30 a.m. each Friday this summer. It's also recorded and uploaded to YouTube right after the show. If you can't watch us live, you can still watch the show at your convenience at sandylandcenter.org. If you have news, public service announcements, or programs that you would like covered, come by the studio at 110 East 3rd or send us an email at ssctv3@gmail.com. We can accommodate those wishing to appear live on the show, those wishing to make a pre-recorded studio video, or those wishing to have video coverage on a location. At this time, we will have a short video featuring some of the sponsors that make this program possible. Well, this week we're going to have more weather, and it's going to be pretty warm, especially toward the end of the week. We have on Saturday partly cloudy and windy, and we've got 96 for the high, 65 for the low. Sunday will be the coolest day, partly cloudy with 89 for the high and 69 for the low. Then the heat begins on Monday, partly cloudy, 93, 72. On Tuesday, sunny, 97 and 72. And exactly the same thing on Wednesday, 97 the high, 72 the low. And then a little bit of a drop on Thursday and Friday. Sunny and 95 on Thursday with 71 the low, and Friday sunny with 96 the high and 71 the low. And now we go to the lunches at the fellowship meals at the Sunflower Center. They're a really important thing that we have, and we encourage seniors and even others to go there and to have lunch with their friends. On Monday, we're having tuna and rice casserole. On Tuesday, pot roast and mashed potatoes. It will be closed for 4th of July. And then on Thursday, breaded pork cutlet. And on Friday, enchiladas with beans and rice. During this school year, SSC TV3 had Jeffrey Lyon, a video journalism student working daily in and out of the studio. One of his projects was a brief documentary that covered more in depth some of the aspects of the No Cyclone Shall Destroy book. Thanks to modern video capacities, you can be able to see this and visualize these things that could only be mentioned when the book was written.
Heritage can be an important thing to many people. It can give you purpose and meaning. More often than not, it helps you to know where you come from. Maybe you come from a well-rooted family tree, or perhaps you're new to the area. Despite these differences, we all came from somewhere. But where are we exactly? Some would say the middle of nowhere, and they might be right. Join me today as we reflect on the origins of St. John. Much of our information has come from the book No Cyclone Shall Destroy by Cleland Cole and Helen Malin Ruber. Before the settlers were here, Native Americans, under the leadership of Santanta, made this their home. From a map in the book No Cyclone Shall Destroy, we can see a couple of the lookout hills used by these people. The first is Pilot Knob, south of Stafford, which has been overgrown by trees. The second is located west of the four-way stop north of Stafford on what many call the 4th Street Road that leads to Hutchinson. With all of its trees, St. John could be called a forest by some, but those trees didn't exist when our founders first settled. Driving in the country, you'll often find vast expanses of fields. This was more like the prairie of old. Can you see it? Just imagine the vast expanse of grassland our founders met. Buffalo wallows and bones dotted the rolling plains, and little creeks wound through the valleys. In some places the grass grew thick and lush, and others where the prairie had been burned off, dust was thick. Prairie desolate, and a far cry for those who had come from the forested hills of the east. It's almost a wonder just how in the world our ancestors roughed it out here. They faced heat and wind, trackless prairie, blizzards, cool droughts. Yes, sir, they took it all in stride. They lived through sickness without doctors, hunger without food, bitter cold without adequate fuel, and they built their homes and stayed. But why? One word: hope. They dreamed of homes they could call their own. They dreamed of land where they could till, where in freedom they could work, worship, and raise families. It was hope of a better tomorrow for their children and grandchildren that they built walls out of the earth, and it was in faith that they stayed. It was here where they developed a depth of character and faith which would give them strength in times of need, and which would bring on a deeper appreciation of the glory of freedom. Now then, thanks to Photoshop, here is again an approximation of what William Bickerton and his little band of followers saw as they journeyed south from Great Bend to a hill north of what is now St. John, which they called Zion Valley. We will now go on location to close this short documentary with an unusual feature that few towns claim. Alright, so here we are at St. John's 1st and Main, right there. Now many towns have a 1st Street, but St. John's 1st Street is the 38th parallel, which means that at one point, everything to that side of this street was Barton County, and that side was Pratt County, because we didn't exist then, but we do now. As we travel down First Street, let's see what the world has in store. First, we cross over into Missouri, then Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Maryland. Then we fly across the sea over to the islands of Azores. Then, after that, we hit Portugal and cross over into Andalusia, Spain, over to Italy for Sicily, and of course the tip of Italy's boot. Then it's off to Athens, Greece, the cradle of democracy. Then over into Turkey, and then of course the mountains of Arat, northern Iran, southern Mongolia, northern Tibet, across the Great Wall of China and into Xinjiang, China. And then, now this gets exciting, because over here, what we have is, our first street is the 38th parallel, and that means we basically have a first street that is the dividing line between North and South Korea. After that, it is north of Tokyo, Japan, across the Pacific, and into California, somewhere in between San Francisco and Sacramento, Nevada, Utah, and then, of course, Pueblo, Colorado, and back home for some Pueblo Nuevo.
Next, we have a short video featuring some of the sponsors that make this program possible. Please check our bulletin board for further information. Also, let them know that you watched the show and that you appreciate their sponsorship. If you would like to be a regular sponsor of the SSC TV3 News, stop by, give us a call, or contact us at ssctv3@gmail.com. Well, now we'll have some birthdays for the week of June 30th. And these are who they are. On Saturday, the 30th of June, we have Ken and Marge Clark having an anniversary. And on Tuesday, Lily and Fred, happy birthday. On Wednesday, we have two birthdays. Happy birthday to Norma Blakesley and to Maverick Regal. We hope you have great birthdays. Then on Thursday, happy birthday to Barry Reagan. And on Friday, happy birthday to me, Jim Lakey. On Sunday, happy birthday to Jan Stadlerman, and happy birthday to Colta Regal. And now we have some actually quite a few public service announcements. And the first ones are from the Recreation Commission for St. John and Hudson. The Sunflowers have at 6 o'clock p.m. in the Witt Center sandwiches, salad, and ice cream on Sunflower Day on the 6th. Anyway, the Great Bend Summer Band Concert is Jack Kilby Square, and that is on Monday, July 2nd. They leave at 5:30 in the afternoon, supper at Perkins at 6, and the band concert is at 8:30. Then there's a notice about the Hot Summer Night programs. We regret that the first one had to be canceled because the winds were so strong it would blow away the things that they would use to have the children have a great time. Now the next one is scheduled for next week, Saturday, July 7th. And the last one will be August 18th, and so we hope for better weather on both of those days. Then there's some fireworks announcements from the city. Fireworks may be set off from 7 in the morning to midnight on Saturday, June 30th. Now that's coming up tomorrow. And then on 7 in the morning to midnight on Wednesday, July 4th. So it will be a kind of noisy couple of days then, and I hope that everybody can get their dogs and cats and horses in some kind of a quiet place for all that, so everybody else can make a lot of noise. Then on August 7th, there's a primary election, and it will be here soon. Please note, a new law is passed in 2014 by the Kansas legislature that states that party affiliation changes may not be made from June through August. Changes may be made September 1st or after. A registered voter who is unaffiliated, however, may vote with either party during this period, and when the voting at the primary or requesting an advanced ballot. It's not too early to think about those back-to-school physicals and shots. Any child entering preschool or kindergarten needs a school physical. If you have a child who has turned 4 or 11, it is time to think about those shots. Give Stafford County Health Department a call today at 620-549-3504. And there's another number to schedule a physical, 620-549-3404 again, to schedule your physical. 5th Street from east of Hempel's driveway to the highway 281, which is not a paved street, will be closed from time to time due to rain. A brief detour is much faster than calling for a tow if you go out there and get stuck. Then, due to the July 4th holiday falling on Wednesday, the Stafford County Commissioners will be meeting on Thursday, July 5th, beginning at 8:30. Also, Stafford County offices will be closed on July 4th. If you or your business wants to sponsor the first annual St. John Car Show, contact the city office for more information. This event will begin at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, August 25th. Snap, Crackle, and Pop could refer to a vintage cereal advertisement, but today it has to do more with fireworks.
For many years now, families have gotten together to celebrate Independence Day with fine food, concerts in the park, and backyard fireworks. 2 local groups are currently selling fireworks to make this year's pyrotechnics absolutely sensational. The first group is the St. John Cheerleaders. They are located on the north side of the square in the Shell Building. The second group is Scott and Amy Clausen. They are located at 1st Street and Highway 281. While we enjoy our fireworks, we all need to remember a couple of things. First, with fireworks regulations varying so much from community to community, use them where you buy them. Second, use them properly. Each year, a number of pyro enthusiasts try to determine just how many firecrackers can be placed under a tin can. Well, with enough explosives, you can move a lot of stuff. Hopefully, the right stuff.
If you have items that need to be announced on TV3 or placed on the computer bulletin board, send us email at ssctv@gmail.com. Join us again on Cable Channel 3 next Friday at 11 a.m. If you can't watch us then, you can watch us at your convenience on the internet at sandylandcenter.org. As you keep us informed, we will keep you informed, and thanks for watching.